You have never seen a structure or anything this tall before. This thing is the size of the tallest intact buildings you have seen in the wasteland over your years. From where you are standing, you can see three long metallic steel legs leading up to a vault.
I don't think this gun is going to be big enough.
You hear a voice. What have you done? What have you done to my children?
Me, shot several of them, but I think we gave them free will.
The robots are finished being reprogrammed and decide to start moving away. Kathy says, "Where are you going, my children? Attack! They have become enemies of us." You hear the Assaultron invaders saying, "I don't want to. I want I want I want some I want something. I want something else." The other robots slowly move out. Kathy Bacon, in the form of Vault 111, says, "They're leaving me. They're leaving me. You made them leave." And she fires.
We made them think for themselves.
Out of the side, a pure beam of pure energy makes its way towards you and hits you, Freddy. No, Herbie. This is unlike
You can hit
anything
Freddy
you've
right
ever
now.
seen before. There's a blast, an explosion, and leaves you and hits you for 11 energy damage
Where
with a
does it hit me?
radioactive effect. It's blast, and I'm always confused about this because it hits everywhere where you're standing, but it hits you in the
Oh,
12.
I'm just thinking for where the damage should I affect.
Right on.
Uh, it gets through and my armor is damaged and I suck up the radiation. So
Yeah, because you're immune, right?
yeah, I'm a ghoul. It,
Uh,
it actually heals me, but I
Herbie,
haven't been damaged.
I need you to make an
Freddy,
intelligence science
no,
test.
Eddie.
Make an intelligence science test. This is a difficulty of 3.
Oh, this is, my good science and intelligence. This isn't going to go well, just so people know.
You cannot comprehend what you are fighting. You have never ever fought a building, let alone a vault, before. This is a vault that was buried deep underground, put together by scientists far smarter than you, far smarter than you. This was designed to survive nuclear apocalypse, and it is now facing you down with some kind of energy weapon that you don't know how to deal with. And now we're going to cut inside. Everyone inside hears faint muffling and faintly what happened outside. You hear a lot of words that you can't really make out, booming words, and then you hear a massive explosion.
And a very bright white light lights things up, I would imagine.
Yeah, the doors on the entranceway that you can't really see have blown away, essentially. This side of the wall, where Sniff is, shakes. The ground from it radiates out shaking a little bit, Jade, so you can feel the ground moving.
Augusta turns to Piper and Dr. Amari. You've done what you came here to do. Take the teleports and get out again now.
Piper says, teleporter? Dr. Murray says, shut up, Piper. Just take this and hit the button on 3. Wait, I need to write this down. Shut the 1, 2, 3. And she hits her button and hits Piper's at the same time in her hand, and they both dematerialize and vanish.
At least he can tell people what's happening, that we've done the thing we needed to do. Augusta walks to the door and casually shoots the turret.
All right. That is a killer move. Go for it.
But if we leave it like this, Kathy will just put the signal up again, right?
We're not leaving, but they're no use to us right now.
Yep, it explodes. It had 1 hit point left. It just explodes. You just casually walk out, gun over your shoulder, bang. Ready to face what may come. So just to expedite things about, because we have gone over quite significantly, I'm going to say, because I'm assuming you're all heading outside, right?
As Jade said,
No,
we can't
I'm
just
staying in the doorway.
we can't just leave Kathy at large.
All right, well, I'm just going to transfer this over and assume that you have all made it to the doorway. So you're all sort of hiding where Herbie is. And that'll be your turn this time round. So, Herbie, it's your go.
Herbie just has no idea where to even think about shooting this, but to make himself a separate target, he would tell the others disperse, and he's going to try to run 2 squares over.
Okay, so what you can see, Herbie, is that this thing has 3 legs.
Oh, yeah.
And on top of that is a vault. The roll you did was working out like where on the vault may have some kind of vulnerability. But you couldn't work that out because you haven't been in a vault. You don't know anything about vaults. This is all new to you.
At this point, his goal right now is to try to draw fire, is what he's doing to get the others to either run or figure something out.
Fair enough. If that's your go, Augusta, it's your turn.
I feel like Jade may have been skipped there while we were leaving.
Jade's go was we started a new round because that last go was essentially everyone just making it to the doorway.
Oh, okay. Augusta's going to head.
Can we make the science intelligence roll that Herbie did too to see if we...
When you can, I will let you know.
Okay.
Augusta's going to move in the opposite direction to where Herbie just moved. But is looking to try and... Okay, can we get to the vault? Can we get closer to the vault?
You can.
She's wanting information. She's wanting a better sense of, like, can we get into the vault? Is there some way we could get up there? These things are designed to be protected from the outside, but inside, maybe we could do something.
Okay.
Wasn't expecting to be this where we entered Kathy Bacon, but here we go.
You can see that, without needing a roll, you can see that there is essentially the vault door is there, but it is open.
That feels like a design flaw, but we can use that.
Well, the vault door has been open for like a very long time at this point because she opened the vault door. And it's sort of been open so other robots and Nate can come and go. So, yeah, the vault door is open. So to get up there, you would have to do a hell of a lot of climbing that would be very, very difficult up the legs, then swing underneath it to come around. It would take a very athletic...
Or we somehow take out one leg and the whole vault droops.
That could be an option.
And I'm sure I saw Sergeant Herbie with some mini nukes. There's something to think about there.
At that point, it is Vault 111 / Kathy Bacon's turn. She is going to take another shot at Herbie. She hits, but the critical fail is that this is going to be taking half the damage, and she's not going to be able to fire her weapon again next turn.
And Herbie is once again carrying his big gun, so he gets his armor bonus.
So yeah, it says 8, but it becomes 4 because of the critical fail. So she just... but takes out the area next to you. You still get some of the damage. And you just hear her say, "Oh, god damn it!" Now,
and
Jade and Augusta...
Is that a blast? Is that a blast?
Yes, but I'm working it out as if it was a blast in another square to your left that you can't see because she got a critical fail. So you still get some damage, but just half of what is displayed. Because her roll was a critical fail. She's so worked up. All her children are leaving her. She's being abandoned, which is probably one of her greatest fears. So now, Jade and Augusta, you can do a science intelligence check, difficulty 3.
Nope.
Augusta, your years of living in the vault is going to serve you well here. The only part of a vault that can make that amount of energy is the power generator. So you surmise that from where you're standing, on the left side of Vault 111 is where the power generator is, and that can't be too far away. So maybe that is that is now available to you as an area to target. So you can
I just need to find out to communicate that to Freddy.
The left side, where you've theorized there's a generator, and one in each of the 3 legs.
I need to tell Herbie this. I think I don't have anything by way of ordnance that would do enough damage. There's no point in shooting a gun at the side of a building and hoping to blow up the thing on the opposite wall. On the opposite side of the wall. So I think I have to get Freddy this information. And Freddy hasn't got a Pit Boy.
Herbie.
I was doing so well up to a
Herbie
point.
isn't shouting distance on your turn. You could probably get to him and communicate this, but for now...
Okay, this is a plan.
It is Jade's turn.
He might be trying to reason with Kathy, but it's 10 over midnight and my brain is fried. So I can't reason with her.
Well, give it your best shot. What would you like to say to her?
Try again to, I don't know, talk to her better nature or whatever. Like, we are not taking her children away from her. We are giving them the choice to do what they want. And he's probably going to mention that he knew of the real Kathy Bacon. He's pre-war, so like whatever he knew of the actress.
Okay.
Using that as a, like, this was what she was like. And for what he knows, if I remember correctly, is that she was very much into equality too.
You stand forward and you make an impassioned speech. You try to explain to her that her children are not leaving her. They are just making their own decisions. And the original Kathy Bacon, whose personality she was born from, would agree with this due to everything that she believed. Roll a charisma speech check, difficulty 4.
All you have to do is convince him to believe in you freely now. That would be bad.
Can I take...
Jade is using the knowledge he has learned from the adventure to try and bring this to an end.
Can I use
as many dice as you want. Use
3 of the viewer If I take 3, I can put 2 extra dice on, right?
Yes.
How many have we left now?
You could roll 1 more dice that will cost you 1 action point. You've got 3 successes, you need 1 more.
And how many viewers points do we have left, Lavaita?
You had 6. That's now down to 3, I believe.
Yeah, I haven't been updating the spreadsheet, but yeah.
Okay, so let me take 1 more of those. And let's see. That's a 1. That's 2 successes more.
That is a critical hit. You have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
5.
You needed
Yep.
4. The red light on the side of it dims a little, and she says, "They never gave me that side of her programming. I know what she believed, but that was never part of my programming. But I would want it to be." What do I do?
I mean, your idea of a community will probably fit some, just not all. You can go back to your original place of your vault and offer up a space for humans or robots or whoever needs it and want to live that way. They will come. Just don't force anyone. I'm sure there's those out there who would like that.
I just didn't want... The people that owned me always left. I was passed along. I didn't want anyone to leave.
Then give people a chance to come to you instead of their own will.
Vault 111 lowers to the ground. And out the front, out of the open vault door, a Mr. Handy robot emerges. This is the shiniest, cleanest Mr. Handy robot you've ever seen. And just stands in front of you and says, "I'm sorry." And then floats away. Your Pip-Boys all start emitting sounds. They're stopping. All of them. They're all stopping and they're all walking away. Whatever you did, it's working. It's over.
The Forge too?
Especially them. There's a group of them now currently taking apart one of them. Really going to town on it. I think it was their leader. All of the drones too. They're attacking it.
Jade, that was incredible. But I think we should go now. We're done here. Someone else can deal with the vault on legs.
Well, I don't think it can move anymore. But can we please go inside and pick the board we need?
Oh, we have what we need. Don't worry. We can get to somewhere with a fabricator and make that.
But isn't there a fabricator in there now?
Oh, you make an excellent point. Yeah, let's do that. There's one in here.
Kathy is gone.
Yeah, I forgot it was in here.
That was my point. Like, the vault is deserted right in front of us. Can we just go inside and get that vault?
Let's make a couple and take them with us. Yeah. And anything else we happen to want.
You make your way inside Vault 111. This is a very basic map. I shouldn't probably not switch to it, really, because this only makes sense if you had to fight Kathy Bacon inside the vault, which you didn't do. So I'm just going to ignore that. You will make your way inside and make your way into where the seat of Kathy Bacon's power was. To the right, there is a terminal and a fabricator. No roll is required. You
Goodness.
You plug in your Pip-Boy and upload the schematics. And press and select S742U board from the list and hit activate. Some very familiar sounds emit from the fabricator, ones that you have heard, Augusta, hundreds of times before.
And Augustus kind of kneeling down by the port that the thing comes out of and just grinning like a complete mad idiot.
After a couple of minutes, the screen lifts and a shiny new S742U board is sitting right there.
And Augusta kind of does that thing where she like touches it lightly with one finger to make sure that it's real before lifting it and putting it carefully in the empty case that she's been carrying. And she discards the broken S742U board with the attached circuit board on it that was left there and leaves it behind in the vault.
You sure you don't want to make a couple of them?
When we get back with this, we can make as many as we need.
Well, wherever this is, do you want to leave this here?
Yeah, no one needs this now.
Okay.
You want to leave this replicator active is what I'm asking. For anybody to use who knows how?
If someone's willing to come in here and climb up to get to this, have at it. As far as I'm concerned, everything's just reclaimed trash these days.
On that, you all leave.
I've been looking for a home.
We're going to jump ahead a little bit in time to that evening. You have all made your way back to Good Neighbor, where you have seen Good Neighbor Party before. This is unlike anything you've ever seen. There is 1,000 people on the streets. Monofonto Towers people, Good Neighbor people, others from other settlements you've never even heard of or visited. All around, everyone is getting as fucked up as humanly possible. There are many people on one side who are mourning their dead and lost. On their other side, led mostly by Professor Doctor and Dr. Malibu, who are just flinging out jet and buff outs and every other chem to this audience crowd and just singing and dancing. And you are... Ooh, I've got to get to the epilogue page. John Hancock and Betsy approaches you and says... Lifts a beer each and says, "Cheers." "We got some business to discuss before you go off to wherever you came from." "Now, I don't know about you lot, but you've been very cagey about where you came from and where you've been."
I'm very happy to just go back there and we don't need to bother you again.
"Well, before you do, I want to make you an offer. Your settlement, if they're in the Commonwealth, they deserve a seat at the table. And one of you would be the perfect person to represent on our new government. What do you think?"
I think I'll put it to our council when we get back and we'll be in touch.
"That's fair enough. I may not know where to find you, but you'll be able to, you know where to find me. Now, if you excuse me, I have to go make a speech." He puts his beard down. shuffles his jacket a bit, and makes his way to the townhouse. Betsy just looks, raises a drink, quietly walks away. That's the most you're going to get out of her as a thanks or any of that stuff. At that point, inside your bag, you hear a voice, Jade. Hey! Hey! Can I have a look?
Oh, sure. And are we in the place where they was it Dr. Amari who had the memory then?
No, yeah, you're in that town, but you're outside on the streets.
Yeah. At some point during all this festivitas, Jade is going to try to find Dr. Amari and ask her if he can.
Well, keep that in
use
mind,
one
but
of the-
before that, you
Yep.
bring Harold out of your bag and he just looks around as much as he can and says, "Looks like you won."
For now.
You know, I think I've had a bit of an idea.
I'm
Would you be
listening.
able to plant me?
Certainly. Here or
Right here.
At our place.
I think I want to be planted here. It looks like there's going to be a new government, a new society, and I want to see it develop. And I think this might be the best
Fair.
place to see it. Also, if you get me some cough drops, that would be good. He laughs.
So do you want me or someone else to plant you? I will probably... There's a risk I might touch your roots when I do that. I will try not to, but...
Well, that's a very, very private area, but you know what? I'll allow it. I mean, I'm not usually into male super mutants romantically, but you know, I'll let you off this time, Jade, after what you've done. You know, you are the
Gotcha.
fourth lot of saviors I've met in my life. People who go off and save the wasteland from various things. Maybe I'll see
Never
a few
fucking
more in my
changes, does it?
time. So I assume you dig out a little bit of soily, sandy earth.
If there's some kind of like city square with a space, he would probably put him down there.
That is easily done. You find a spot for him outside the townhouse, just in time for John Hancock to give his speech. So between talking to you, though, and making the speech, it's clear that he has basically done a hell of a lot of jet, and nothing he says is necessarily intelligible, but the crowd get from the context of his various groans and weird sounds, like, and cheer at the appropriate place. Now, there's a question I need to ask. Do you, Augusta and Jade, do you want to go home?
I mean, you all have been lovely, but yes, so much.
Jade, are you going home?
Who was asking? I'm sorry.
I'm asking, just trying to
You're
figure out where
asking,
you are at
yes.
the end.
As soon as we are done here again, Jade really wants to have a session in the memory bubble, but after
Okay,
that,
that will happen next. Herbie, where would you like to go?
Herbie is going to probably, his general plan at this point is to take over the gunners in this area, but he's going to be relocating back to Radio Metal and Vault 111 and their And he's thinking of taking over and just becoming like a warlord in the area, helping out this growing new community.
All right, we'll go through that next. But first off, Jade, you make your way down to the memory den. You walk down the stairs and you see Dr. Amari is sat at her computer playing back a memory. That memory is a birthday party. You can see on the screen that she is there with a number of people. And they're laughing. And she's there drinking from a bottle of Rock Got whiskey. Hasn't noticed you and just watching the video.
So Jade is going to just knock.
Dr. Eye turns around and wipes a couple of tears from her eyes and says, Hey, hey.
Hey, I'm sorry to disturb.
No, it's fine, it's fine. And she quickly turns around and just minimizes the window of the video and just turns back around and says, what's up, Jade? What, hero to hero, right?
We are going home soon, and I was wondering if you could help me with the memory.
I mean, sure. Were we hooking you up?
If that's possible.
Well, I've not really done someone your size before, but you know what? For you, we'll give it a go. She leads you round into the memory den and sits you on a chair next to one of the pods. You won't fit into the pod, but she's going to try and do her best to bring the headset out from the pod and places it on your head. And just says, okay, can you give me a rough time frame? How far are we going back?
He will give her a date that is 5 years before the bomb.
She looks up and says, wow, never had anyone come in asking for a pre-war memory before.
And
Okay.
maybe it won't work, but since I remember, I hope it could.
Well, there's only one way to find out. This is going to feel really weird. But ready to go in 3, 2, 1. Your vision goes white. And then you find yourself in the past. What happens?
So you see the memory from his view, right?
Yes.
Okay. So anyone who's watching would be seeing the inside of a Boston cab. And we see it from like the right side on the back seat. Next to him is a woman, and at the other window is a girl around 8, white pale, all white hair. Her skin is very, very pale, and she's looking out the window, looking back at Jade, and like being this excited, we are going on an adventure kind of thing. Pointing out and going, Jade, look at that. Jade, look at that. And they stop. A man goes out from the front passenger seats, open the door. And when the view is turning, it's the Boston Library, pre-war. Jade is stepping out, the girl is out, and she's out in the sun. She's just spreading her arms out and looking up and twirling in the sun. And this woman, the adult, is saying, Crystal, honey, you have to go inside. And the girl goes, but Mom, the sun is so nice. Yes, honey, but the sun is bad for you. And she's trying to get a hat on her, like a brick sun hat or something. And you see this, again, a child's hand. When Jade is looking down, it's a child's hand reaching out for her and say, like, come on, let's go inside. They go inside the library. Parents going off to something. Jade and Crystal sneaking off somewhere. And the smile on this girl's face will falter a bit, and she will look very intense at Jade and say, what happens if Dad can't fix my eyes? What happens when I can't see you anymore? And Jade is going to take her hands and place them on his face and say, then you can feel me. I will always look the same. And then the memory will fade from there.
Everything goes bright white again, and you return to the room. Dr. Amari stares at you and says, that was your family?
Yeah.
She looks down. She doesn't entirely understand what she saw, and feels but then also feels awkward that she saw it, because it feels incredibly personal considering the context of a super mutant. She just says, well, I hope you got what you wanted from that. Would you like to take the tape so you can watch that back?
Yes, please.
She taps into the terminal next to the pod and then press eject. Hands you a holotape. Come back any time.
Thank you, Doc.
Herbie, I got from you that you wanted to sort of take over the gun runners, essentially, and sort of become a warlordy type.
Well, Zeb is dead, and we got this abandoned vault that kind of relocated next to we got a radio station, we got a replicator. What more could you want?
Okay, so to do that, you're probably going to have a word with Betsy.
She's not one of the gun runners.
No, but they were running out of her building, and currently all the gun runners around there are dead. So she's probably the closest you've got to someone who you would need to ask permission over to take over the operation, as they are housed in her building.
Well, he's relocating, but he would try to be nice and civil about this.
So do you want to ask Betsy about it, or do you just want to do it?
He's more or less just going to let her know that I'm going to try to take over the gun runners, and we're going to relocate over there to maintain control. You're more than willing to share in the profits or whatever. We will pay our taxes to the new Commonwealth. But I think we should set up various separate locations, especially considering what went on there.
She thinks for a second and says, well, you seem pretty capable. And yeah, poor Zeb is gone. All right. Depending on what we organise with the government, I reckon we can maybe do the same deal.
I figure we're going to have to pay some taxes, but you're going to need to also generate some sort of militia, so we can work out deals.
All right. We should talk.
And plus, we still have the Institute stuff that we're going to have to deal with. They had a lot of interesting stuff down there. I think Dr. Amari might be somebody you want to oversee that. Unless Augusta sticks around, but I don't think she will.
We're going to have a lot to discuss, it sounds like. Our first meeting is going to be whenever this party stops. So until then, let's shut the fuck up about business and drink. Yeah?
Got anything stronger than that beer?
Follow me. You're a man after my own heart. She leads you down to the third rail and under the bar finds a pre-war bottle of Glenfiddich and says, Dignam has been saving this for a special occasion, but seeing he is no longer with us, and we are quote-unquote heroes of the Commonwealth, she takes 2 pint glasses and pours 2 pints of Glenfiddich whiskey, passes one to you and says, cheers, and downs it right in front of you.
Oh, hell no, you're not out drinking me, and starts drinking her shot for shot. And next thing they know, wake up, blacked out the next morning.
On that, we're going to fast forward a little bit through time, as you have been blackout drunk. 3 months later, Jade, Augusta, you walk through the entryway of Edinburgh. The road has been long. You had to take the long road round. No matter how much you tried, Dr. Amari could not make the teleporter go that far. And maybe if you would have told her where Edinburgh was, maybe she could have worked something out, but you chose to ask the elders of the Council of Edinburgh first before divulging that information, so you chose to do the long walk home. So it is 3 months later, and you walk through the gate. You walk through the town, and at first nobody really notices you. Things are very busy. You can hear talk of rationing and having to go out and look for water. But suddenly you hear a voice from behind you. You're back! You turn and you see Zebedee. She runs up to you, Augusta, and gives you the biggest hug. And
I have missed you so much, Zebedee.
Zebedee shakes her head a bit and then pushes you back and says, do you have it?
Of course I do.
Right. We need to go fix that fucking thing right now. Lovey-dovey stuff later. Let's get this repaired now.
And you'll go straight to the technician place.
Yes, to the utilities.
Yes. It's been a while.
Jade, as you're left there, suddenly more people notice that you're back and sort of crowd around you and say, you're back. Did you do it? Did you do it? There's too many people for you to answer individually. And you're just left standing there trying to explain to people what the hell just happened.
By the way, Jade will have asked Olivia if she wants to come with them or if she wants to stay with.
Olivia is by your side. She looks around and says, you have a wonderful home. Did this come from a Gek?
Yep.
I never thought I would see a Gek used like this.
Guess that was one of the good things they came up with.
Sniff is by your side, nestles his head against your knee. He hasn't had that much attention.
He will now. And Jade is going to put an arm around Olivia too and give her that one-arm, side-armed hug.
So, if that, is there anything else any of you want to do? Otherwise, I will fully wrap this up with a description of how your actions have affected the future of the wasteland.
I think we probably need to go and talk to Freddy's apprentices and so on. And I'm saying Freddy very carefully now, because they were all waiting for him to come back, and they presumably heard, but Augusta feels responsible.
Okay. Jade, do you join her?
I think Jade is going to check up on the super mutant he tasked with.
That's right.
Because he was told that the ghoul went feral, so he definitely wants to check up on the super mutant and hear what happened and stuff like that.
Okay. So we'll start off with Augusta. Augusta, you approach the home of Freddy and you knock on the door. Eventually, a young woman answers the door. You know her as Eliza, Freddy's quote-unquote little sister. She says, "Oh, you're back."
Yeah, we are.
I should have pointed this out at the beginning. You have Tumu with you.
Mm-hmm. Of course. We wouldn't have made it back without Tumu.
Thank you for bringing Tumu back.
He was so good. We couldn't have asked for better.
A few tears appear in her eyes and she just says, "Is it wrong that I would rather this place have gone to ruin than for him to go?"
No, it's not wrong for you, but it would have been wrong for everyone else.
I guess you're right. From behind, you hear a voice. "Who's that?" Appearing behind her is Chad Jenkins, Freddy's best friend. "Ah, Augusta. Come in, come in. Have a drink, come on."
I can't stay just now, but I promise sometime later we will get blind drunk and talk about everything.
"Oh yeah, I'm sure that old Tolman is planning a big party and you've got a lot of repairs to make."
But at least we can make them now.
"Thank you. You saved us all. Sounds like you saved a lot more than us."
I didn't do it alone. Never forget that.
We won't. And now we'll go to Jade. You approach the mindful mutant compound. And you knock on the door, and answering the door is old Tolman, who just says, "You're back."
Yeah, at least some of us. Did the Quincy people get here right? Because we sent them this way, right?
"Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Roman brought them in. We showed them what was what. We gave them our trust. And they have not disappointed. You know, Scylla has really made herself a pillar of the community. She's on the council now. Mary B has been helping out with Zebedee. Yeah, it's all going okay. Are you okay? Are you all right?"
We don't have Freddy back with us,
"Yeah,
but
we'll have to build another statue."
have a couple of extras with us too. So
"I would be surprised if you didn't." From behind him approaches Alpert. He just says, "Hey, so glad you're back, but Eldridge didn't make it."
no, I heard. How are you feeling?
"Well, I was glad that I could be there with him till the end. Glad that I could help him when he lost his mind. It was sad, but I'm glad I was there."
If we're lucky, that would be the last one we see.
Have you got your cure?
I believe I have all the data I need, both to make a cure for the ghouls and for the super mutants who want it.
Well, old Tolman cuts in. "We've talked about it in our community. We don't want the cure. I mean, in my case, I don't even remember who I was before, and think I'm okay with who I am now. So I wouldn't like to roll that dice. But enough of this talk. We have more than enough time to discuss all this. We've got to arrange some kind of celebration. It never ends. It's always something. And he walks off mumbling to himself. And at that point, there's nothing else. Let's zoom back. War never changes. But the people who fight these wars change. The Commonwealth was forever changed by the actions of those known as the defenders of the Commonwealth, during what we will be forever known as the War for the Commonwealth, according to a book written by Piper Wright, the journalist who was there on the front lines for most of it. She would spent the years after the war travelling the wasteland, recording as much as she could how much the war changed the lives of everyone she met. The first she met, while she started her journey, was a group of survivors in Vault 75 jumpsuits who had made their home in what used to be a pre-war mall. One of them told her that when they found the place, it was desolate. They cleared it out of rad scorpions, and inside the mall he found an endless supply of seeds still in their packets from before the war, irradiated, ready to go. They decided to set up they turned the gardening centre / seed centre into a flourishing farm. And over the months after the war, various robots, some of them in shiny armor, shiny chrome, some of them with darkened chrome, approached and offered their services. Over time, this mall was transformed into a proper farming community. Robots and various former Forge drones living side by side, trading with the Commonwealth provincial government. Occasionally, on the roof of the mall, you could see their leader looking out, occasionally reading a quiz book. As Piper made her travels across the wasteland further afield, she would occasionally find a group of very shiny robots, each sort of starting their own way of living. She's discovered several towns that were made up of these shiny robots that were previously the Baconites. But they chose their own path. Some of them even chose to be represented in the new provincial Commonwealth government. She never found Kathy Bacon herself, though. During her travels, nobody ever heard from Kathy Bacon again. Nobody knows where she went. Gloria was found far north of Boston by Piper. The Synths there had also made their own settlement. They had found an old technology college, very similar to where they started from. They decided to make that their home. They got the generator working again so they could recharge their fusion cores. And Gloria, on her way out, told Piper, "I've got to go to the first meeting of the provincial Commonwealth government." Now, there's a question that needs to be answered by you players. Did you advocate the Edinburgh Council to join the Commonwealth provincial government?
I suppose we might, we might have mentioned it and talked about it in the settlement as in general, because again, yeah.
You are both held in such high esteem that on the council, Scylla, Old Tallman, Zebedee, who is actually showing up for meetings now, which he never did before, all say essentially, we'll go with what you think, because you've been there, you know these people. Would we be safe to reveal ourselves, and would we be okay to deal in trade?
I think if anything about the experiences we've had since we set up Edinburgh count for anything, is that we don't exist by ourselves here. By just shutting out everyone else, we don't thrive. If we work with the others, we can keep our presence shaded if we must, but at least we're having a voice, we're being involved.
Old Tallman sounds to you, Jade. Do you concur?
I do.
All right. Looks like we've got to find a way. We've got to send some people out to make contact again. Good Neighbour and Monofonto Towers party post War for the Commonwealth for 6 solid months. The initial meetings of the provincial government are postponed and postponed and postponed until finally John Hancock wakes up one day deep in his junkie pile in his townhouse and realizes, shit, I guess we got to get started on that whole thing. Over those months, there are many meetings that have had. And eventually, about a year after they first decided to set up the Commonwealth provincial government, they finally finalised their constitution just in time for an emissary from Edinburgh to arrive. Led by Roman, the security chief, who travelled with you briefly at the beginning of your adventure, Dan Carruthers, who runs the bar, and Zebedee approach and Zebedee says, "Hey, Augusta and J. Tennis, we're from Edinburgh. We want a seat." Over the years to come, Edinburgh's trade with Monofonto Towers and Good Neighbour elevates them both technologically. With a functioning fabricator, you are able to upgrade their water in exchange for various chems and other things from the outside world. The travel route can take 3 months, the trade route that has been established, but it has been established. Maybe over the centuries to come, the time between the settlements will be reduced once the radiation from Quincy dies down. But if you asked anyone, they would tell you that they would believe that they are at the start of a golden age, as the technology enables a better standard of life for everyone in Monofonto Towers and Good Neighbour. Out by Radio Metal, Herbie approaches the vault and the radio station and gets to work. What happens next, Herbie?
A community grows up around this, being, supportive of the area, but Herbie has nice little settlement inside the vault, and he makes sure that the community is healthy and good and trades fairly. It's become a trade hub more than anything. Trying to, bring stuff from the West Coast over, trying to establish routes across the mountains and through the plains. That's his goal over the long term. He's long lived. He's hoping he can maybe make that happen in the next 100 years.
You reach out to some of Zeb's contacts in the gun runners, and one day you hear from outside Vault 111, where you are busy working on your next load of stock to trade with Monofonto Towers. You rush outside and you see a vertebrate land. A vertibird. A pre-war helicopter-type device, last really used by the US government. Jumping out is a contingent of gun runners and representatives of the NCR. They approach you and say, "You're the one making waves in the East Coast, I see. Herbie, is it?"
I don't know about waves, but connections and stirring up and helping others. But yeah, I'm Herbie. Welcome to my humble abode.
The NCR representative says, "We'd like to make some diplomatic ties with Good Neighbour and Monofonto Towers, is it? this new Commonwealth provincial government?
Yeah, they established it here, wrote their own constitution and everything. They had a little civil war with a bunch of robots, and that's how I got my new home.
Well,
This boat was walking.
would some of your people be able to take us to the seat of this government so we can start setting up an embassy?
It's only an hour or so away. Give me a moment. Locks the door and starts, gets in his armor and starts walking. Follow me. Or do you want to take your plane? I haven't flown in a couple hundred years.
Well, we can certainly fly if you can direct us to a safe place to land.
Well, I can flat enough place. I don't know about how safe. They probably won't shoot you at first sight.
Well, maybe we'll find a way to radio them before we land.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
The Commonwealth
By
provincial...
this time, somewhere along the line, Herbie has picked up a Pip Boy of some sort.
Fair enough. I'm going to assume that it all goes swimmingly. The Commonwealth provincial government, over the years, radically changes how things were before. There are obviously new problems, lots of arguments and territory disputes and other things, and trade disputes, but they are eventually ironed out thanks to the process dreamed up by Monderosa Jones and John Hancock. The NCR set up an embassy that sits right outside Monfonto Towers, which the NCR later regrets, as many of their delegates and diplomats end up getting really severely fucked up on Professor Doctor's supply, hampering their work. But over time, there are strong ties between them. The NCR offers to bring the Commonwealth provincial government under their banner, but everyone on the council, including the Edinburgh representative, says no. The message is sent: we're fine being friends, but we aren't fine being lovers. General Isaacs gets to work on realising her and Carl's dream of making the Commonwealth Rangers. Over time, she manages to recruit enough people to become the peacekeepers of the region. When someone goes missing, they call the Rangers to find them. When something goes wrong, they're called in to help. And a statue of Carl is erected in their headquarters in Goodneighbour. Sniff by his side. On the other side of the continent, in Edinburgh, a statue of Freddie is placed next to the statue of Hazel Johnson and the other heroes that helped create Edinburgh. Over time, war rears its ugly head once again, as it is inevitable, but the Commonwealth is in a far better situation to deal with it than it ever has before. The future looks good, and Piper Wright's book, The War for the Commonwealth, is widely distributed, and as much to the annoyance of Augusta especially, the tale of the defenders of the Commonwealth becomes legend in the area. But more importantly, you're all able to live out your lives in relative peace. You've done enough. There's very few people who can say they've made the world better. But you all have. War never changes, but the people who fight it do. And that's the end of Fallout. It never fucking changes. Went on 2 hours longer than I planned, but I think it was worth it.
Please make the last bit about Jade.
Absolutely.
Because he will go right to making the cure.
Of course.
For the ghouls and the super mutants. And when it is done, when he's sure that everything is as it's supposed to be, he will save the recipe, and he will sit in his quarters with them.
So you finish making the cure, and what you have worked out is that you have made a new form of the Force evolutionary virus. However, this is one that once injected will not jump to anybody else, but will essentially counteract the effects of, to varying levels, of what the person has gone through. So on ghouls, there are two varieties. One that will stop them going feral forever, that you are able to widely replicate in the fabricator and with your medical equipment in your medic station. And one that can turn a ghoul back into a human. You find over the years that the demand to be turned back into a human is very, very limited. You'll maybe give out 1 or 2 a year to ghouls who ask for it. Most elect to stay as they are, but they all take the ghoul feral vaccination. The super mutant cure is sitting right in front of you. The mindful mutants have turned it down, but you have a choice. Do you want to take it and revert back to your human form, or not?
So he will be sitting with that, and in his quarters he will take from his pocket an old pre-war $quarter, the big one, made into 2 lockers that intertwine in each other. One with a small crystal in it and one with a jade stone. So he will fumble or like fibble with that a bit, place it down on the table, taking the holotape that Dr. Amari gave him, watch that, and as he places his sister's hand, or see the hologram taking his sister's hand, placing them and hearing the words, "My face will always be the same," he will inject himself to become that human again that he promised his sister.
For the next 3 days, you are incredibly unwell. You can feel parts of you shrinking around, your skin shrinking around your still vaguely mutant form. For 3 days and 3 nights, you are in absolute agony. But on the 4th day, you wake up and you look in the mirror. And you see yourself a little older than when you last did. You look to be around in your early 20s. But it's you, with your face.
And then he will, use the rest of his life, however long or short that is, to figure out who needs it or wants it, or maybe talk to the
Through the trade routes, you can easily
Commonwealth.
distribute the cure to all the traders around the area. Eventually, samples of your cure make it to the NCR through their diplomatic ties and spread out through the west coast as much as the east coast. They learn to replicate it. New groups of various people, mostly the Rangers on the east coast and the NCR Rangers on the west coast, go around and force the cure on more problematic super mutants. They tend to be grateful once they wake up after 3 days and nights of pain. But amongst super mutants that are not necessarily as murderous, the cure remains controversial. Most elect to not take it. Some decide to take up arms against it. But these pockets of resistance are very, very quickly dealt with. But over the centuries, the threat of violent super mutants and for the ghouls, the danger passes. It becomes something that is talked about as legend and myth rather than the reality of these people. And we zoom out, And that is the end of our story. I apologise for forgetting that part. I did have it written down on my list of things to put in the speech and then completely forgot it and got too excited. But that is the end of Fallout. It never fucking changes.
Yay!
Thank you all
Fantastic
for playing.
work, Michelle.
Great.
That's like 80-something hours of content. You a first-time storyteller, GM.
Yeah, I learned a lot. I learned a lot of things. I'm going to leave it at that. So in about a month,
Both good and bad.
yeah, I'm not saying I know what I did well, and I think I know what I didn't do as well, and what to work on. So that's kind of the way it's shaken out. So the next game I will have learned a lot for, which is going to be on Tales of Myth and Mayhem, Worldwide Wrestling. I'm not sure exactly who's playing in that. It could be some of these three. It could be all new people, or we don't know quite yet. But yeah, in this time slot, going to run Worldwide Wrestling. Going to run our own little wrestling promotion. So yeah, if that tickles your fancy, keep your eyes on Tales of Myth and Mayhem stuff, all down there. Wait for announcements. And that will be happening with it probably in about a month. Once I've read the book and learned it all. But players, thank you so much for making this an absolute joy. Thank you for being so patient tonight and all the times as a first-time overseer, dungeon master, games master person. It has been an absolute delight and joy to play with all of you and all the people. Well, both the people who were here but who could no longer play for various reasons. It was a pleasure to play with them too. And thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on this channel again very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.